Today I'm trying my hand at the brand new Genesys format.
It's time to duel!
What's up guys, welcome back to CardSpot. My name is Ethan and today I had a bit of a duel night with the new Genesys format. I had some friends around and we built some better than others Genesys decks. Mine is one of the bad ones, as you're about to see. But we just wanted to give the new Genesys format a try and see what everyone cooked up with and see how the format actually plays. So I took Thunder Dragons. It's a pet deck of mine that I really enjoy, and what better monster to have in a format where links are banned than the pseudo link monster himself, Colossus. So I thought if I can just get Colossus out turn 1, yeah, it's a pretty big boy, can't attack over him, can't destroy him, might be able to just wall up and do some Thunder Dragon things with Titan. So let's see how we went. So I'm going to do a little bit of a rewatch of some of the matches and try my best to commentate over them. It's been a while since I've tried to do a video like this, so let me know if you want to see more of this kind of stuff, but maybe let's get through the video first and see if it's good or not. Alright, my bad dueling skills aside, let's get into the video. Alright, so we rolled the die. I think I rolled like a 11, I think, so I get to start. So we'll rip off the top 5 and see what we're opening. From memory, I know I can see a Chaos Dragon Levianeer. I'm pretty sure I had a Batteryman Solar. There was a few other good things in there. It was enough to be able to make a turn 1 Colossus, so I think, yeah, we lead off the Dragon Dark to search another copy of Dragon Dark. That puts a Thunder Dragon in our grave, so then I can fire off the hook and special summon back the Dragon Dark. Now we've activated the Thunder in hand, and we have a Thunder on field, so we can just bring out Colossus. So he just chills there, and he's got a couple of Thunders in graveyard that he can banish to protect himself. So, it's 2400 defense, I think. So it's quite a big booty, and with the protection built in, it's really hard for opponents to get over that. So I just passed on that. I think my hand was all monsters, so it's just like, yeah, we'll just hope that that's enough. And obviously it's locking down the opponent, and so as we'll see in a minute, the droll effect of Colossus really came in clutch in this game. So the opponent has a big think, because I believe it was something like 5 out of his 6 cards in hand searched. So yeah, this is a very unfortunate turn 1 for him. Too bad not all the floodgates are 100 points in Genesys. So he starts off with a Primite Roar. To pay 2,000 life points and declare Luster Dragon. Shout out to Luster Dragon from like 2002. So he gets to get a free Luster Dragon, and it can't be destroyed by battle until the end of his next turn. So kind of the same thing as my Colossus, right? Just wall up for a little bit. So yeah, he's just explaining here what Roar does, because I was a little bit rusty on the Primite cards. We're just having a discussion about what to do, because there's the other effect where if I normal summon a monster, he can banish a monster on my field with lower attack. So I was just kind of bearing that in mind as well and trying to think about how that's going to work. So he sets 1 and passes. So I draw. Now I'm looking at my hand, and from memory, I think I drew an Allure, but I could be wrong. It could be a Thunder Dragon Fusion. I might just go for a Titan play. Just try and put... Yeah, I did forget to put the Dragon Dark in my graveyard on his turn, which was a bit of a whoopsie, because that's something that I always forget with Thunder Dragon Dark, because it's like a quick play, and you can just pitch it in your opponent's end phase just to get another body. So instead I opt to banish Colossus and the Dragon Dark from my hand to special summon Titan, which is kind of crazy, but Colossus has done its job, right? And we can get it back, like we can use like a Dragon Hawk to get it back, so... no, we can't. We'd have to use Dragon Roar to add it back to the extra deck and then special summon it again. I add Thunder Dragon Fusion here off the Dragon Dark, because Thunder Dragon Fusion also allows me to put the Colossus back to the extra deck, which was another way of recycling it, and we get another Titan in the process. So I pitch regular Thunder Dragon to search just 1 more, so that I can chain the Titan, and then this way you can actually get 2 Titan activations instead of searching 2 at once. Yes, we just grab 1 here, and I pop what was another Primite Roar. So then I can activate Thunder Dragon, chain Titan again, and pop the Luster Dragon, and grab the last Thunder Dragon. Man, I love the OG Thunder Dragon interaction with Titan. The interaction with Titan and the interaction with Hawk as well, where you just add them all to your hand so you can put them back and draw better cards. Yeah, I really like this deck. I just wish it was better. When is more Thunder Dragon support coming out, Konami? So I'm looking at Raw in my hand, and I'm going, do I want to Raw back the Colossus, or do I shuffle it back with Fusion? And I believe I end up shuffling it back with Fusion to make another Titan, because at this point, the opponent's life points are well open. He's only on 6k because of the Primite Raw, which I forgot about, because I'm thinking, how am I going to do 8k damage this turn? And I think what I was trying to figure out was, because I have the Chaos Dragon Levianeer in my hand as well, so I'm trying to manipulate the graveyard enough where I still have enough Darks and Lights to summon that out. So I think here we put back, yeah, I should have put back the, oh no, I'm leaving the Dragon Dark banished so that I can special it back with Raw, and then probably fusion it off for a Colossus from memory. So yeah, looking, there we go, yep, there's the Raw coming down. So yeah, I'm a little bit rusty with the deck, so I'm just trying to figure it out the best, and then there we go, banishing all of the guys to special summon out the Chaos Dragon Levianeer, which gives me more than 9k on board, and we go to game 2. Alright, so let's see what we got. So this is post side, game 2. Opponent starts off with a Luster Dragon. Unfortunately, the glare is a bit brutal there. And 3 sets. So we, at this point, I'm siding, I don't know. All I've seen is the Primite engine. I don't know what else the opponent is playing. So I'm going, big think. You can see Batteryman Solar in the hand, that comes down. And we use the effect to go dump a Thunder Dragon from, well, a Thunder Monster, but it's always going to be a Thunder Dragon from the deck. And I'm pretty sure I go for Raw. I think I go for Raw. It's either Raw or Dragon Dark here. It's Dragon Dark, okay. If I obviously have something in hand to banish it with. Yeah, I can see White Dragon Wyver Burster there, but I also have the Hawk, so I can just special summon it back and then make a Colossus, and then use Dragon Dark's effect to go get a Thunder Dragon Fusion. So we're setting up pretty much very similar to how we did last game, but as you'll see here, the Thunder Dragon Fusion is not really going to get us there. So I'm looking at my hand and I'm going, okay, I have this White Dragon Wyver Burster. I can make a rank 4 with the Batteryman Solar, and that was something that I missed with the extra deck. I kind of just threw the extra deck together. I probably should have spent a bit more time looking into better rank 4 Xyz options, like if there's something that's a solid rank 4 that requires 2 lights or something like that, that actually does something, because as you'll see, the option that I go into is not so great. But I'm having a big think here around what to do. And we see the regular Thunder Dragon coming down. So here I'm trying to fill my grave for Thunder Dragon Titan. So I'm just going to add 1. And we're just discussing how he was using the Luster Dragon and I'm using the OG Thunder Dragons, like cards from 2002, 2003. Here I slapped down the Thunder Dragon Fusion. Now, this is where it gets spicy. He chains MST, and I'm like, uh-oh, MST about to negate. So then he uses the trap card that you chain to MST and you can negate a card on the field. So MST does negate in the year of our Lord 2025, so he actually does get to negate my Thunder Dragon Fusion, which is problematic because I did need the pops that was going to be able to get me off Thunder Dragon Titan. So now it's like, well, sheesh, what do I go into here? So I still have the White Dragon Wyver Burster in hand, I still have a Thunder Dragon in hand, so I can still make a rank 4 and save the Thunder Dragon maybe for next turn. Maybe I can, banish something with the Thunder Dragon Fusion on the next turn. I have a Black Dragon Collapse Serpent as well, so we special that out by banishing the Thunder Dragon. And then we just go to battle. So we attack over the Luster Dragon, we get 700 damage in, and then we go for 15 and 18? 17? I can't remember how much Black Dragon Collapse Serpent is. And then we overlay for the Redoer, which is the absolute not great card that I had here. But it's interesting, right? It's a free card in Genesys, and it does sometimes get you a draw, especially against this deck where he's playing a high number of spells. There's a good possibility that we're going to get a draw out of it. If nothing else, it's a body that can just get rid of itself and come back. So we use the effect of Redoer in the standby phase to add a card, and it is indeed a spell. It's a Primite Raw, so not a great one to be putting in his graveyard for free, but it does at least get me a draw when I banish the Redoer with its effect. So we're just reading Redoer and making sure we get the effect activations right, etc. So then we go to main phase. The opponent's thinking about what his options are. Plays down Ultimate Slayer, and I'm like, oh, okay. Just having a quick read, but Ultimate Slayer will send a Garura and shuffle Colossus back into the deck. It's like, it's not the end of the world, right? Like, Colossus, unless it's banished face down, you can generally recur it with any of your Thunder Dragon cards, and putting it back into the extra deck just means I can just summon it again straight away. The Garura will get him a draw though, which is a bit unfortunate. So then he's able to special summon out I think that's Swen, which is the the Searcher, which gets him the other Mystical Space Typhoon spell. And even though I've just played against this deck, I still am not super familiar with what they all do, but I'm pretty sure that adds a monster from memory. So he plays that down, and that's going to get him the other super rare, which is it one that starts with M? I think it might be. That specials itself out. And then that searches as well. It's a pretty interesting deck, and this gets the secret rare that's like a shuffle 2 back. So he's able to special summon that out as well, I'm pretty sure. I'm just having a look at the extra. Uses another spell. I really need to learn what these cards do. I was asking him about them in the moment and having a read of them in the moment, but they're so new I haven't committed them to memory yet. And also it's not like a super common deck, so... that's the one that dumps something, I think. And then, yeah, you can see he's just discussing and telling me what they all do. This one I do remember is a shuffle 2 back into the deck. I think when an MST is negated, or it might be when a quick play is activated, not an MST specifically. But it does search an MST as well, which means he's got another negate with the trap on the next turn. So you can see where this is starting to go, where it's like, ooh, this is going to be a bit of a rough one. And it also searches, yeah, it searches 2 quick plays, including 1 MST. Not 2 quick plays, 1 MST and 1, whatever the archetype is called, I can't remember. No, amazing insight from me here. But then he overlays so he's thinking about Cicada King there by the looks. But maybe gonna change it up. Yeah, I think he does end up going for the Totem Bird, yes. Which gives him a spell trap negate, which is pretty good, honestly. Like, means he can negate my Thunder Dragon Fusion if I get to another one, which is gonna be pretty important. And then it's just a process of going to battle and trying to attack over. We use the Redoer effect, so the Raw goes to the grave, and we get to draw a cheeky little card, and then we do take the attack from the other one. Or from both of them, because he gets to redeclare. And then that will be pretty much it, I think. I think he sets the MST, maybe 2 more. And passes the turn. The amount of searching and sort of resource gathering that this deck can do is actually pretty crazy. Like, it's and it's all pretty free in Genesys, which is kind of cool. So very, very nice like archetype for specifically Genesys. Like one of those situations where new archetype comes out, it's not that great in the advanced meta, but it is pretty good in Genesys. So he sets 2 and passes it over. And just explaining how certain cards work for me there. And we will see what I can do on my turn once we get this draw. We will get the Redoer back in the end phase, which I forget about. Which is mandatory to come back, but it's not mandatory to attach a material. So when I do remember to bring it back, it's already past the standby phase, so I'm like, well, okay. So I slapped down a Dark Ruler no more. and he is just going to MST negate that. And I was trying to bait out that negate specifically because I wanted to do some shenanigans with Thunder Dragon Fusion. I was forgetting that he's got Totem Bird and that that's another spell trap negate, so there was kind of not much point. My attempts were futile. So here's where I remember Redoer, so that's going to come back and just chill out there. I don't know why I got it in defense. I probably should have got it in attack just to attempt to be able to attack over something. And there I'm just reading to make sure the effect to add is not mandatory, so I don't get to do it. We summon out Battery Man Solar, and that's going to go ahead and dump us a Thunder Dragon card. He was just having to think about it for a while, but is going to chain Roar, so he's able to banish that because we have a monster that's lower than the Luster Dragon. But I still do get the dump, which is kind of important. So I have a big think, and I think I go for Roar here. I can't remember what I have in hand. I got whatever one I didn't have in rotation, I put that in rotation. So, yeah, it is Roar. So then I have also the Thunder Dragon Fusion effect Engrave, which I think I use here. Yeah, so I attempt to use that by banishing it to add a Thunder monster from deck to hand. And we'll see if that gets through. I think that does, yeah. So then here we add the Hawk. So then I can pitch Hawk to special summon Dark, make a Colossus with Dark, and then activate Dark's effect to search another copy of Thunder Dragon Fusion. Unfortunately, again, forgetting about the Totem Bird. So he's just curious about what I've got engraved. So Hawk effect to, I don't believe Hawk targets either, so I think he had a DD Crow and was trying to decide whether to activate it or not, and it's like, well, you kind of just help me anyway. DD Crow's not a great card. Oh no, he might have sided the DD Crow's out after game 1, now that I remember. Anyway, so we do get the Dragon Dark, and we will be linking that off for Colossus and triggering Dragon Dark's effect, which will go and grab us a Thunder Dragon Fusion. And this would all be great, this would all be grand if the Totem Bird wasn't on the field. There is an argument that I perhaps should have attacked over the Totem Bird first, and then try to activate the Thunder Dragon Fusion in main phase 2. I think that would have been smarter, but instead I activate it here and it gets negated straight away. I'm like, of course. Read cards and remember cards that you have been read. So that gets negated, which is very unfortunate. So I think this would have been a much different game had I attacked over the Totem Bird first, because we can pretty much know that the one set card is MST. So it's probably a safe bet that the other one, I don't know if he was running any like battle traps or anything, I don't think he was, but there's only really one real back row that we need to worry about. So probably should have just attacked over the Totem Bird and then gone Titan, because now it's pretty rough. So we just go to battle, and we can't get over the secret rare one because we don't have any spell or traps to set to be able to kill it by battle. So it's turned into a bit of a rough game state, unfortunately. But we do declare an attack, and it is looking like it's going to go through. I'm pretty sure it goes through. Oh no, he has another Raw. That's right. So we would have been fine because it was probably Raw and MST that were down. Yeah. So I think probably. Oh no, because he already used the MST on the Thunder Dragon. Not the Thunder Dragon, on the Dark Ruler No More. So we had already played through the MST. This was a Raw, so there was still one unknown back row. But yeah, I mean, we can see that this attack has gone through. So it probably would have been okay to just attack over the Totem Bird and then try and get a Titan on main phase 2, and then we still had one Thunder Dragon in hand, so we could have discarded that to get one pop, assuming it didn't get interrupted anyway. So yeah, probably should have sequenced this a little bit differently. Then he slaps down the Forbidden Chalice so that he can take less damage, and then that shuffles the 2 cards back into the extra because a quick play spell has been activated. So maybe we wouldn't actually, because because we still don't kill the Totem Bird. Main phase 2, I banished the Roar to special summon Wyverburster, to then trigger Roar to special from deck, and this is where I'm wishing Chaos Angel was less points, because then I could special summon out a level 6, like a Dragon Dark or something, and go into Chaos Angel, but it's not going to be enough, and we just scoop it up and go to game 3. Alright, so I can see Thunder Dragon Matrix in hand, I can see a White Dragon Wyverburster. It looks like, oh yeah, so this hand, I had all light monsters and I had an Allure. And so I'm just going, what the heck can I do with this? I have no way to get to Colossus turn 1. I have no darks to banish with Allure. So I literally set Matrix and pass, because I just need anything else. It's a very, very weak hand. And the risk of activating Allure, drawing 2, and neither of them being dark, it's just not worth it. So he starts with a Roar, pays the 2k, specials out the old Luster Dragon, and then is going to set a bunch, I think. Oh no, he can summon out the guy because a quick play was used, and then add the MST and another of the archetype cards. So then we play the archetype card, which searches the Swen. Oh, maybe not. No, it gets the other dude. And then I think can special out the other one, yeah, or summon it. It might be normal or special, I can't remember. Right now my Matrix is looking pretty weak. It will replace itself, which is the nice thing when it goes to the grave, but here's Swen now, which searches as well. But yeah, realistically, it's not a great hand for me, and I'm not really sure how I'm playing through this. And I don't really know what I could have done with that hand either. I think realistically setting the Matrix was my best play, which is pretty poor. This was definitely a list that I kind of threw together. I think it definitely could have been better. So we activate the effect of Matrix to add another copy of itself, and then we're going to take a fair chunk of damage, but I at least now have a light engrave, so like if I draw into a Black Dragon or Collapsed Serpent or something like that, it gives me something to banish. Then he makes another Totem Bird, the bane of my existence, and then sets a bunch. Oh no, just 2. Okay. We can play through 2. I think we know one of them is MST as well. So I slapped down an Allure because my draw is Thunder Dragon Dark. But unfortunately, I think he's going to negate it with the Totem Bird from memory. Yeah, so that gets negated, and it's like, well, okay. I could have used the effect of Dragon Dark in hand, I guess, in the draw phase. I don't know what that gets me, to be fair. It's unfortunate, right? Resolving that Allure on turn 1, when there was no negate, would have been a lot nicer than now, where it just gets negated. And I'm looking at my hand and I'm just going, this is not ideal. So, yeah, I can see a White Dragon Wyverburster. What else is in there? I think there's a Dragon Hawk, there's a Thunder Dragon Fusion, and I'm not sure what the last card is. So I can special out the Matrix by using the effect of Thunder Dragon Hawk. Or I can just normal summon the Matrix in my hand that I searched. I'm just trying to think here, what... okay. I think I can't do that, right? Like, had I used a Thunder Monster in hand yet? I don't think so. I mean, I have the Dark anyway, so I could have just used Thunder Dragon Dark first. So I guess I could get there, but I think at that juncture I hadn't used a Thunder in hand yet, so setting the Matrix and then Fusion Summoning was a cheeky little misplay, and not a legal play, but it's not really, it's just a sequencing error, right? Like if I had activated the Dark first, then sure. He drops the Droll on Dark, which is fine because I'm not really going to be doing any more searching now. So now it's just checking his grave, making sure, and because there's the Roar in grave, it's like, okay. But I don't think he had any normal monsters in grave, so it's not so problematic. We throw down the Thunder Dragon Fusion, now that we've baited the negate with Totem Bird, through the Allure. So maybe that was why I started with the Allure. And now we have Titan. The problem is, what I should have done is leave some Thunder Dragons in my graveyard, because now I don't. And I don't have any in hand that I can discard. So I should have played this a little bit better, because now these guys can just die at any point. And I think I have a Hawk in hand, but there's no Thunder Dragon in grave to bring anything back with, or grave or banishment. So this was a gigantic misplay, because now these can just be popped or attacked over or whatever. And as we're going to see here, that is pretty much what's going to happen. So on his turn, he slaps down a Dark Ruler no more, and obviously can't respond. I should have, and was going to activate Thunder Dragon Roar in his standby phase, because it's a quick effect, and he didn't declare his phases. So graciously we discussed that, and I went back and did that so we could chain the Titan. Unfortunately, he changed the Cold Buy on the Roar, which not only negates the Roar, but chain blocks the Titan, so GG's. Slaps down the Dark Ruler no more, then has the Ultimate Slayer. It's just Board Breaker City, so Colossus goes bye-bye. He decides to do the Titan instead. Because it is just that little bit bigger. It's 3200, which is a large gentleman, and I do appreciate that, because it is quite nice. Then it's a big think. He specials out the dude, which is going to go search the spell, and he's just going to have a think about what he's going to grab. Because the Colossus is negated, that's why he can do this through the Dark Ruler no more. Otherwise, obviously, that would be not possible, which is why Colossus is actually really good against this deck, but it is what it is. Grab the other spell and play that out, which allows him to draw 2 and discard 1. So he discards the MST. Not going to need that here against just a Colossus. I'm already on 5-1, so all he needs to do is just attack over all of this stuff. I think he's just doing some math to figure out, because Colossus is relatively large at 26. So MST is his own card, which allows him to special summon the other guy, which allows him to add back the MST and search. Then can make a Phantom Knights of, what is that, Break? Is that Break Sword? Which gets rid of the Colossus and then it attacks for game. So that will be it. So that was match 1 against, I need to look up the name of this archetype, Radiant Typhoon. That's what it's called. So game 1 against Primite Radiant Typhoon. Yeah, here I was showing him my opening hand, which was Wyver Burster, Hawk, Matrix, Allure, and Thunder Dragon Fusion. It's just like, what am I doing with this hand? So it was a pretty rough one, unfortunately. But that's game 1, match 1. Let's see if we can reclaim it with match 2. Alright, so match 2. Starting it off this time with Allure of Darkness. We actually have a dark to banish. So banish the Roar, which is going to get us a Thunder Dragon special summoned from the deck. Which is going to go and grab us, I believe, the Dark from memory for this one. Just double checking what I have in hand. Having a big old think. I can see the Swords of Revealing Light in the opponent's hand. This is a crazy match. So here I'm going to go grab the Dark, and then that is going to be able to, if we have a Thunder Dragon effect to activate in hand. In phase, we're just going to add it back to hand. Okay, so we can't go Colossus just yet. So opponent is going to lead off with ConsTellarknight. I think that's Altair. It's the one that dumps one anyway. So he dumps Deneb, and then he uses the ConsTellarknight Bridge, which targets a ConsTellarknight you control. You special another one from deck, and then you shuffle that one back into the deck. And then the one he grabs out allows him to special summon back the Deneb, and the Deneb now allows to search another ConsTellarknight monster. So this is going to be ConsTellarknight or Tellarknight, I guess, because it's Constellar and ConsTellarknight. So he grabs the Lyra, I think it's Lyra, which is like an extender and a searcher. Goes to battle, gets in for 15 and 17. And then I think he does, I can't remember if he overlays them or not. Actually, I think he just leaves them. I just asked to read the Lyra because I didn't, and I'm unfamiliar with the newer ConsTellarknights. Because this came out in, like, I think it was Cyberstorm Access? Is Substorm Access? Whatever Syac was, that set. He's just going to set 3 and slap down Swords of Revealing Light and pass the turn. So we draw for turn. When you have a Thunder Dragon Dark in hand, I again forgot to put it in grave on his turn, which really mucks me up here because I have a Wyver Burster, so I could have banished it to get a search. But for now, that is not going to be happening. So I just pitch Hawk, which allows me to special back the Roar. And we'll see if this is okay. From here, we can send the Roar to get to a Colossus, which is exactly what I'm going to do. Colossus comes down, which is going to... Is this going to be okay? I think it's going to get... Yeah, it's going to get met with a strike. And I'm like... I didn't play when strike was a thing, and so I just wasn't really thinking about it. And it's just like, okay, sweet. Yep, that's pretty good. So he pays 15 and he gets rid of it. So I'm like, alright, what else are we going to do here? So I'm looking at the grave and I'm like, I still get the effect of Roar, because that was still sent. So we can bring out I'm thinking a Dragon Dark, I think, probably here. Because I've already used Hawk and Roar this turn, so it's like, might as well use Dragon Dark. I know I've got one in hand, but if I can find a way to get it off the field, then I can at least get a search of a Thunder Dragon card. But no, I opted to go for Hawk, because I was thinking I can add it back to hand and use it again next turn. I was tempted to fire off that Raigeki as well, but I think... Do I have a Thunder Dragon Fusion in hand? I might, in which case I'm just going to return the 3 Thunder Dragons back to the deck. But I'm just double checking my resources, because I also have the option, I think, maybe I have... I know I have a Wyver Burster in hand, there might also be a Collapse Serpent, so I might just be able to go into a rank 4. So we will see. I really want to get Core of Chaos for this deck. I think that's really interesting tech. Level 2 tuner that you can special summon by banishing a dark monster. So if you banish Thunder Dragon Roar, then you just special summon a level 6 from deck and you can make a level 8 Synchro for basically free. So I opt to banish Dragon Roar and banish Hawk to bring out the black and white dragons. And obviously these guys kind of suck without links because unless you can Synchro with them, they're never getting their effects. But we just go to battle. Oh no, that's right. He uses the Omni Negate, I think. Trying to figure out why he put that card in grave. Did he use it or no? Oh, he might have negated the Hawk effect. Yeah, might have done that to negate the Hawk. Then he has another strike for the Redoer, which is brutal. So it's just like, okay, well, playing through 2 strikes. In phase, the Hawk returns to hand because it was special summoned off Roar. And we pass the turn. Chuck the dice on the swords so that we can keep track of that. Summons out the... I think this one is... I can't remember which one it is, but that's the one that specials from grave. And then chains the Lyra. Yeah. So summon back the Deneb, chain the Lyra. This allows him to get 2 searches, 1 spell and 1 monster. So the Lyra searches the spell, the Deneb searches the monster. And from here, I've got an open board, so I'm just like, yeah, let's pack it up. Go game 2. Alright, so game 2. Start with an upstart, he gains 1,000. To open the Batteryman Solar, which is a pretty good starter. It's one of the best normal summons from the deck. I opted to play just the Solars, not the Aloof Lupines, mainly because I couldn't find my Aloof Lupines. And I set 3 and pass. Now, I sided 3 Cosmic Cyclones and 3 Fiendish Chains. Yeah, maybe I shouldn't have sided the Fiendish Chains. The Cosmic Cyclones work out pretty well. I managed to hit his spell, which allows him to, I think, special summon from hand. He summons the dude that summons from graveyard, but has no effect, but I think does have a Lyra in hand, maybe? Seems to be having a think. No, has the bridge, so he can special summon one from the deck and flick that one back. So I think here is where he gets either the Lyra or the Deneb. Yeah, Deneb searches, which will add, we'll see what he adds here, having a bigger think about it. Ah, no, it adds nothing, because I finished chain it. Get him out of here. He chains, so he sided in the card that's like can destroy spell and trap cards up to the number of ConsTellarknights you control, so he could chain that to the Fiendish Chain to exactly pop it so that the Deneb can resolve, which is crazy. This very, very cool interaction. I was like, alright, I see. So that was pretty sweet. So he gets to search for the dude that special summons from graveyard, and then, decides to, didn't quite catch what he grabbed there in the end, but activates swords again, and I'm like, okay, alright, we draw for turn, and I draw into another Cosmic Cyclone. So here I'm like, okay, I'm going to be getting rid of those swords, because I have another Cosmic Cyclone set. So I summon another Solar, dump another dragon, it's just a dragon hawk this time, purely because I just want to start thinning the deck. I'm pretty sure I had like nothing in hand. We allure and end up banishing a DD Crow because I had no other cards in hand, and I think here I just make another Redoer. Redoer was getting a lot of exercise today because it was just kind of the best generic rank 4. I did calculate if I could Excite on Knight, but no. So I just banished the swords and then attack over the Deneb. May or may not have been the right call, but we attached the bridge, which is good because then it's a draw. But now he's got a Deneb in grave, so when he summons the one that specials from grave, he can bring back the Deneb. So he's down to 3 in hand and activates, as you're about to see here, the same spell card again, which lets him special summon from hand. We Cosmic Cyclone that with the quickness, summon out the dude that special summons from grave, chain the Lyra, and then Lyra and Deneb will search a spell and a monster, which is a bit brutal. So here he's going to grab I think another of the bridge from memory, or it might be the spell that lets him special. No, it's another of the bridge. And the monster is going to be, not too sure yet. I think that's the ukulele one. So I don't know. He puts the bridge in the graveyard for some reason. I'm like, are you activating that? Like, what's that doing there? So just a little bit of a misplay, or just like a misstep from him there, but that's okay. And he does eventually put it back in his hand. And he's just considering what to make here. Here's where I recognize that shouldn't be in the graveyard, and we're just like looking at it being like, hey, that should be in your hand, you haven't used it yet. So just looking at his rank 4 options, I think here comes I think it's this Ptolemaeus. It's the one that you can't respond when ConsTellarknights or Teller monsters are normal summoned or special summoned. Tries to pop the Redoer, chain Redoer, banish it, draw 1, we take 25. Just reading the cards that he searched this turn, so they've got full hand knowledge of what he's got. So we draw for turn. I've got what looks like a white dragon Wyverburster, and we go Redoer effect in the standby phase to attach a Solar, which I don't think was doing too much for us. We can try and Wyverburster and banish like a Dragon Dark maybe. We should have probably dumped a Dragon Dark with the Solar instead of Dragon Hawk. If we had done that, because we've got, I think we only have 2 Thunder Dragons in the grave, right? We've only got Roar and Hawk. So we would still need 1 more to be able to, like if we had Dark in there to banish that for Wyverburster to add a Thunder Dragon fusion. As it stands, we can banish the Roar with Wyverburster. Roar special summons 1 from deck, but because we haven't summoned, we can't go in, because we haven't activated a Thunder Dragon effect in hand, we can't make Colossus, which can't attack over his large gentleman, the big Constellar dude. So we add a Hawk. I'm trying to think why we add the Hawk here, and why I didn't just add a Roar. And I forget that Hawk goes back to hand here. We do attach... oh, no, I remember there, because it is a mandatory effect. And we do get the Redoor attach, which is just a monster. He has another of the spell that lets him special summon from hand. And then I think he does use the bridge to tag out the ukulele dude. And it's just, yeah, get the dude who specials from graveyard, get the Deneb effect to search. Like, it's all so good. And I can't respond to any of this, right? Because I can't respond when a Teller is normal or special summoned. So this is pretty bad. So here, I think he can't summon whatever he gets unless, because the Lyra can only special summon itself when you summon another Teller from memory. Oh, maybe not. Maybe he can. I think maybe I asked about this at this juncture and we were just like reading. So that comes out. Or maybe it's not the Lyra. Maybe it's just something else. So he attempts to pop something I Fiendish Chain. Didn't realize it had the effect to like... that there was one of them that has the effect to like bounce face-up cards on the field. But the spell has an effect to just like rank it up. In which case it can just detach and then bounce the White Dragon Wyver Burster, and it's gonna be over from there. So I should have read that spell. I banished it too many times and did not actually read the full effect, that it could rank up his Xyz monster, so it was a bad play on my part. But that'll do it. So I think after this I got the bye because I was 2 losses and we were only playing 3 rounds, so there we have it. But it was really fun. It was really cool to play an old deck that I really like, that's a bit of a pet deck, and still be competitive. And I think that's probably one of the selling points of this format, right? Is you can play decks that aren't necessarily the best decks and still have a competitive match with your opponent without just completely, one-sided blowout. Of course, it helps that Colossus is a card and is still really strong regardless of the format, so there is that. But at least, you can't just straight up board wipe or anything like that. Just, with... Well, I guess you can, right? There's dark holes and things, but that can protect itself. Regardless, it was a lot of fun, and I'm looking to maybe refine this deck and try again. We might do another one next week, which could be fun, so maybe I'll record that again if you guys like this. I've got an Edison one of these coming up as well, can do this for Modern as well. But if this is something that you like to see, let me know down in the comments, because this is absolutely something that I can keep doing. It's something that I want to try and get a bit better at in terms of like getting the recording looking a bit better and that kind of thing, and maybe even take it to locals. But for now, just doing duel nights with mates, just to test out different decks and different formats and things like that. So I will stop waffling. Make sure to subscribe if you want to see more videos like this, if you want to see our Edison videos on the ladder or pack openings or whatever. Let me know down in the comments if you like this style of video, maybe if there's certain decks you want to see of different formats, and I will see you in the next one. A massive shout out to Riv, our first channel member. It's crazy to me that I have channel members now. If you want to be like Riv and support the channel in the most incredible way, check out that join button down below. Otherwise, just keep on doing what you're doing, and I'll see you in the next video.